Guys, sound the alarms because it's finally October. This is my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month, it's spooky season, it's the only time of the year that the clothes that I wear are socially acceptable, and it's basically the kickoff month to the fall season. So you guys know we love the fall. We're so happy that it's October now.
We have so many books in front of us. I think we just gathered all of our spooky, darker mystery books, and we've been waiting for this month to read them. I want to call these hopefuls because I don't want us to feel pressured into reading these because there's a little bit more.
Yeah, than we normally pick.
But it's all fun. These are just ones that we think would be good to read this month. We don't have to get to all of them, but these are the ones that we'd like to get to. So we're just gonna jump into it. Up first, I have Legendborn. I have been wanting to read this book for so long. I think it's already been one of our book club auction books twice now and it hasn't won. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and read it on my own. I did pick this one because I do think it'll be perfect for Vampathon. Vampathon is like a week-long spooky readathon hosted by booktubers. And we always want to participate and we never have, so we thought, of course we'll do it this year. A lot of the books we picked today do apply to the reading prompts for Vampathon. So if you haven't seen anything about that, we will link the video in the description. I've read this synopsis so many times, so I don't want to be too annoying and read it again. Just at the bottom it says, Bree has to decide how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight. This is a darker YA fantasy, so I think it's perfect for October.
The first one I have is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I loved Gallant by V.E. Schwab, so I wanted to pick up another one of her books for the fall time. This one sounds super interesting to me, and I heard it's kind of darker and grittier, so I think it'll be perfect for this month. I know this is about two college students who go to a really prestigious school and they try to give each other superpowers, but it ends up being pretty much their villain origin story. I do love V.E. Schwab's writing though, so I can't wait to get into this one.
Next I have None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney. You have read this one and you really liked it. It is a YA mystery thriller, and I do tend to really like YA mysteries. They're so fast-paced and they're easy to read. This one says, two teenagers, Emma and Travis, are recruited by the FBI to interview convicted juvenile killers and provide insight on cold cases. Why does that sound so fun? But when the team is called in to give advice on an active case, a serial killer who exclusively hunts teenagers, everything begins to unravel. Working against the clock, they must turn to one of the country's most notorious incarcerated murderers for help. That sounds so freaking good. I'm already ready to get started on it. I do know that the next one just came out too, and that one is a beautiful pink cover. So if I love this one, I'll definitely be picking up that second one.
So I'm finally gonna start this series. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I know there's 4 books in the series. I have the whole box set, so I'm hoping that I love this first one. But something about this just gives fall. It seems like gothic and dark and mysterious, giving Sherlock, so I think it's gonna be absolutely perfect for this month. It says, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down, but despite all those horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper.
Ooh.
Is that not everything? Every time I read the back, I just get all giddy about it. This mystery pays homage to classics like Sherlock, Frankenstein, and will satisfy those readers looking for a historical mystery and witty heroine and a little romance. This sounds absolutely perfect. Name an October book that's better than this one. You can't. I'm just really looking forward to getting into this author's writing and getting into this series since I've heard such good things about it.
Another mystery thriller I need to read already. It's been sitting on my shelf for way too long, and this month is the cutoff. I have to read it. It's The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. There isn't a summary on the back, so I am going to read it on Goodreads. It says, when she stumbles across the ad, she's looking for something else completely, but it seems like too good of an opportunity to miss. A live-in nannying post with a staggeringly generous salary. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with the child dead and herself in prison for awaiting trial for murder. Why would they tell me already?
I did not expect that.
One of the blurbs on the back says, Ruth Ware has been called the Agatha Christie of our generation. The Turn of the Key is a great read. You're going to enjoy it very much. Well, I really do hope so. This will be my first Ruth Ware book, so I'm hoping I really like it because I do already own The Woman in Cabin 10, and we constantly see her books every time we go book shopping, so hopefully this will be a new favorite mystery thriller author.
So I do have a horror book for this month, and I'm finally gonna read Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I mean, it's time. I had begged my family for this specific copy of the book a couple years ago for my birthday. I received it and I haven't read it yet, so this is the year. It says in the 1900s, Flo and Clara fell madly in love. A few months later, they were found dead in the woods after a horrific wasp attack. 3 more grisly deaths followed before the school was forced to close. Now the school's doors are open once more, but as the crew of a glamorous young actress assemble and start filming, past and present begin to blur, and soon it's impossible to tell quite where the curse ends and Hollywood begins. This sounds good, and I think this is something that would actually happen if people try to go to like a haunted site and like film a movie. I think a book about that could be super interesting though, so I can't wait to read this one this month.
I of course do still want to read a romance, so I am going to read The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I read the X-Text and I really enjoyed it. I picked this one up last year and I just didn't get to it in time. By the time I was ready to read it, it was already like January and it just didn't feel right. So I'm going to make sure I prioritize this one and read it. It's super short. I know we are going to continue following that family and the X-Text, and I absolutely loved them. So it's going to be really fun seeing these characters again and being back in this really cute, cozy town. It says a mysterious new coven of witches come to town and Gwen's powers begin fading. She and Wells must work together to figure out just what these new witches want and how to restore Gwen's magic before it's too late. It sounds so fun. I might read this one the first week of October just to get me in that cozy, spooky mood. But yeah, I will definitely be reading this one this year.
Speaking of spooky romances, I had to give myself a dark romance book to read this month, so I decided to pick up the Dark Side series by Christy Cunning. This is books 1 and 2 in this. Christy Cunning is the other alias of C.M. Owens. We love S.T. Abbey and the Mind F series, so I can't wait to see how her writing differs from that book to this one, but this one sounds so interesting. Goal number 1 is become a real girl instead of this invisible ghost thing I currently am. Goal 2 is convince the 4 men I've been haunting for the past 5 years to pick me to be their new toy after goal 1 is complete. Like, wait, what? And then goal 3, figure out who, what I am, and why I can't remember anything past the 5 years I've been haunting this quad.
They so killed her.
Right?
Yeah.
They had to have something to do with her death. The front's giving reverse harem why choose. I'm hoping that it is because the recent Penelope Douglas series I'm reading is not why choose, even though I think it should be. So I'm hoping this kind of quenches my thirst for that. And I'm honestly just really happy to be reading C.M. Owens again, so I can't wait for this one.
Another one I need to get to is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the 3rd book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. Is this the last one? Because I know you were saying Killjoy.
I think that's like a spin-off.
Let us know, is the Killjoy book a spin-off? Because if that's the case, then I need to read that as well. But we're following Pip, who is just trying to uncover mysteries that are happening around the town, and she's used to the online death threats in the wake of her viral true crime podcast, but soon the threats escalate and Pip realizes that someone is following her in real life. This girl can't catch a break. These are always so much fun. We get to see recordings, we get to see the podcast in the making, we get to see interviews and pictures. I'm telling you, YA mystery thrillers are just something else in itself, so I can't wait to finish this series.
So the next one I have, I really only picked up because of Vampathon. One of the prompts was like a gothic cover or blood on the cover, so I thought this one checked off 2 boxes, but it is The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, and the edition of this book is gorgeous. I mean, the blood on the sides with the sprayed edges, the inside illustrations are gorgeous, but I couldn't tell you what this book is about. I know it's about vampires. There's no summary since this is like a special edition. I think if I'm ever gonna read this book, it needs to be in October because of the gothic vampire vibes. I have been hesitant to read it though because it is by Holly Black and I did not like the Cruel Prince Folk of the Air series, but I have heard good things about this one. I do want to try again with her writing, so I think this is gonna be the one. On Goodreads, it does say The Coldest Girl in Cold Town is a wholly original story of rage and revenge, guilt and horror, and the love and loathing from best-selling and acclaimed author Holly Black. We'll see Holly Black. She is like the nicest person ever though. We went to one of her meet and greets and she was super nice, so I hope that I love it so I can read more of her writing.
Another mystery thriller I have for the month is A Flicker in the Dark. We just got this book from the library for $2. When Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, her own father had confessed to the crimes and was put away for life. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge. She sometimes feels as out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. So when a local teenage girl goes missing and then another, that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid, seeing parallels from her past that aren't actually there, or for the second time in her life, is Chloe about to unmask a killer? See, this is the problem with every time I read the back, I immediately think I know what's gonna happen, and I'm probably way off. One of the blurbs says a smart, edge-of-your-seat story with plot twists you'll never see coming, and I hope that's correct because I love when I get caught off guard.
I have another Carrie Maniscalco book, and it is Kingdom of the Wicked. It's time. I'm tired of looking at this book on my shelf. There's like 2 other books in the series. I want to know what this is about. I don't know if there's recipes or if it's just very descriptive, but people said it's just like a good cozy gothic read, so I'm hoping that it is. It says 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, an intoxicating romance. I think I do want to read Stalking Jack the Ripper first because I think my expectations will be set too high for this book since I see it so often, whereas with that other series, I'll be going in blindly.
Next, I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I heard you say it, and now I keep seeing people say that this is a witchy version of The House in the Cerulean Sea, and we absolutely loved that book. I still think about that book constantly. Even just here at the top, it says, a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. Are you kidding? One of the blurbs on this one says, a warm and witchy hug of a book, and that just seems like exactly what I'd want in a book in October.
My witchy book for the month is The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Mares. I think, if I remember this correctly, that someone on TikTok had described this as kind of like a Gilmore Girls type of book, and I really hope so because I love Gilmore Girls and I'm looking for that feeling always. It says a coven of modern day witches, a magical heist gone wrong, and a looming threat. It does say funny, tender, and uplifting. The novel explores the formidable power that can be discovered in aging, found family, and unlikely friendships, which does give Gilmore Girls. It says heartbreaking and heart-mending. It will make you grateful for the amazing women in your life. So I love that. I wish Erin Sterling would keep putting out witchy rom-coms because those have been my favorite over the past couple years. So I'm hoping I find another one. If not, Erin Sterling, please release more books in that series.
A recent one I just got was Gallant by V.E. Schwab. You read it, you loved it, so that means I need to read it and hopefully love it as well. This one is more of a YA horror book, and I have been trying to get more into the horror genre. I did just read House of Hollow, which was considered a horror book, and I really did enjoy that. So I'm hoping I can keep reading books in that genre that I love. In this book, we are following an orphan girl, and she does have special abilities, and her mother told her, don't go to this haunted house, and she ends up going to that haunted house. So love her.
Same. Probably one of my most anticipated reads for the fall time is The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Every time that I read the synopsis, it sounds better and better. We're basically in 3 different perspectives. In a boarded up house on a dead-end street at the edge of the wild Washington woods lives a family of 3. A young girl who isn't allowed outside, not after last time, a man who drinks alone in front of his TV trying to ignore the gaps in his memory, and a house cat who loves napping and reading the Bible. An unspeakable secret binds them together, but whenever a new neighbor moves next door, what is buried out among the birch trees may come back to haunt them all. The Last House on Needless Street is an immersive and shocking journey that will keep you guessing until the last page, and I hope it does. It sounds super unique, especially next to all of the other books I have on my October TBR, so I'm thinking this is gonna be a predicted 5 stars for me. I hope I'm not jinxing that. Definitely my most anticipated of the month. It says a true nerve shredder, and I'm hoping it is, so perfect for October.
Next I have Roxy by Neil Shusterman and Jared Shusterman, which is so exciting because I have never read anything by Neil Shusterman's son yet, so I'm really interested to see how that writing is going to be. This one just sounds so good. It says, above our world is a toxic wonderland where the party has raged for centuries. Humans know the partygoers simply as narcotics, opioids, drugs, but here they are gods toying with the fates of mortals. Roxy and Addison have made a wager to see who can be lethal the quickest.
That's crazy.
Neil Shusterman's mind is just something else. I think it'll be really interesting to be in the minds of Roxy and Addison because this came from the mind of Neil Shusterman and the writing of him and his son. I know I'm gonna love it, so I'm looking forward to reading this one.
I had to pick up a YA book myself, so I have Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert, a recent purchase of mine. A couple of you guys have read it and said that even though this story takes place in the summer, it's very much fall dark vibes because of the magic and witches and things like that. So it says secrets Secrets, Lies, Super Bad Choices, Witchcraft. That's all you need to tell me and I would have picked it up already. But we are following mother and daughter. It says years after it began, Ivy and Dana's shared story will come together to a reckoning among daughter and mother and the dark forces they never should have messed with. The fact that it has witchcraft though, I need to read it this month. I'm always looking for a fast-paced YA book, but it sounds super good and I love the cover, so this will definitely be read this month.
Next, we both have The House by Christina Lauren. We are still shocked that Christina Lauren have even made a paranormal kind of romance book. We have been waiting for October to read this book together. He's always dressed in black, his head down and shaggy black hair falls into his eyes, but when Gavin looks up at Delilah, his dark eyes shadowed with bluish circles seem to flicker to life. Her lifelong fascination with him has been a mixture of longing and bear-like protectiveness because he lives in that house, the one at the edge of town. Spooky and maybe haunted, Delilah thinks it might be something worse than haunted. Gavin tells Delilah he's hers completely, but whatever lives with him inside that house disagrees. This sounds amazing.
I can't wait to get into this one.
It is kind of giving like Lily and Atlas, but like a darker version. I'm hoping we'll really like this. And it was only $3.97 at Books A Million, so I mean, come on.
So lastly, I do have some Kindle books that I really want to read this month. A lot of these I actually ended up getting when they had the Stuff Your Kindle Day, so a lot of these were free. But I've been waiting for October specifically because they're cozy mysteries. The first one is Marshmallow Murder by Molly Maple. She has a whole series of like cozy mysteries and they're all like dessert themed, which I think is so cool. They're like murder mysteries, but I've never necessarily read a cozy mystery, so I think that will be perfect for October. I also have Cupcakes, Trinkets, and Deadly Magic by Megan Sienna Dodge. I hope that's how you say her name, but she has a whole Dowser series and it's the same type of thing. Cozy, baking, murder mysteries. So I'm just so excited to finally read some of these and see if it's something that I like. But I did want to include it because those are ones that I'm anticipating. And I think it'll be a nice way to have like the murder mystery, but also incorporate like a cozy vibe, especially to split up some of these bigger books.
Lastly, we have our monthly blind book pick. Last month, you guys were asking, where is the cart? And this is all that's left. So we don't even need a cart anymore, but we have enjoyed doing this. So I'm sure we will do that again next year.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Amanda's book first.
Hopefully it can still be somewhat on theme.
I know, that's what I was worried about. Okay, we have book number 2. So that is this one.
Oh, okay, she's
Small one.
I have no idea. I don't even remember. Oh, it is kind of on theme. Tell me 3 things. It's just giving like fall.
Cozy.
The blurb at the top says, here are 3 things about this book. 1, it's sweet and funny and romantic. 2, the mystery at the heart of the story will keep you turning the pages. And 3, I have a feeling you'll be very happy you read it.
Okay, so there's a mystery too.
That's so cute. I think this cover is so cute as well. I think this will actually be perfect to kind of split up some of those darker books I have on my TBR this month, so I'm really happy about this. Now let's do yours.
I have no idea what
I know.
my last 3 are at all.
I forgot what we put. Number 9.
Okay, we got kind of a thin one too. Oh my gosh, okay, let's see. What is this? Oh! Wait, I actually have been looking for this book. I had no idea that I wrapped it. But Sharp Objects, this actually, I can't even get mad at it. This is probably the perfect month to read it. I've heard amazing things about this. I've never seen the movie adaptation. The bottom part says, as Camille works to uncover the truth about these violent crimes, she finds herself identifying with the young victims a bit too strongly. Clues keep leading to a dead end, forcing Camille to unravel the psychological puzzle of her own past to get at the story. Dodged by her own demons, Camille will have to confront what has happened to her years before if she wants to survive this homecoming. With its taunt-crafted writing, Sharp Objects is addictive, haunting, and unforgettable. This one does sound good, and now I can picture the adaptation. It has Amy Adams in it. This is a perfect one for October. I'm not gonna get mad at it.
So these are all of our October hopefuls. We have a lot of good ones here. I'm hoping we have some new favorites after October. That is going to be it for today's video. Let us know in the comments what you guys are most excited to read in October.
Reminder to join our Literal Besties book club if you haven't already. That link is in the description. That's gonna be it for today's video though, so make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.
It is October.
It is my month. Everyone step aside. Libras, come to the front. It seems pretty short.
Oh.
I guess.
From the start, Emma and Travis develop a quick friendship, convicting juvenile murders to talk when even the FBI can't get them to crack. Are they gonna fall in love? I like always want there to be a little side plot of a romance.
The front is giving reverse harem, why choose? And I'm hoping that it is because I was upset that the
The pause.
Stop, that was so bad. I'm hoping this kind of quenches my thirst for that.
Okay.
Okay.
It's Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's flag number 1.
Just a flag. No color.
No color, just a flag. Okay, by the end of this, we love Louisiana.
No, we do. It says a true nerd shredder. Nerd shredder. It's
The back says he's always dressed in black, and that's it.
and that's all we need to know. Next, Gillian Flynn. Gillian Flynn? You guys know I never know what that name.